you mentioned, we are now reaching a situation where we are fully invested. We have less than 10% of our NAV in cash, and that we expect to invest very soon. So this is a new situation for us. As you know, we have been in a position where we had a lot of cash in the company through 2008, when the markets were very volatile, and we refrained from investing, which allowed us in turn to invest a lot in 2009 as well as 2010. So in that sense, we have now moved quite quickly, making investments, and our long-term strategy in terms of portfolio allocation is to be fully invested. Actually, a couple of our latest ones have been in some of our smaller markets. So we invested in a food retailer in Georgia. It's a company called Populi, and we're very happy to have that as a direct investment. We initially took slightly more than 22% stake in the company, as well as joined the board. So this is a very exciting company, a market leader in Georgia. Of course, expecting a big development in terms of the market moving to more modern store formats. Another one which we just recently announced, and which we hope to complete all the formalities in the next month or so, is a bank in Macedonia. Another small market in our universe. Very good sector for us. We like banks a lot. Very interesting bank, also one of the largest in that country. The only one that does not yet have a strategic shareholder, so we see good potential to exit in a few years' time to a strategic buyer. I think Russia is obviously our biggest market, and also where we see the biggest valuation gap, so to speak. Russia today is trading at an enormous discount to other BRIC markets, around 50% discount. We do not think that this is justified, and we expect that this gap will narrow with time. So we see a lot of good opportunities in Russia. Another focus is the smaller markets, where investor interest has not yet returned. Some of the markets have almost not at all recovered from the crisis levels. So we're able to find very interesting companies at very good valuations. And I mean, just these examples of Populi and Komercijalna Banka, so Populi in Georgia and the bank in Macedonia are two examples where we find interesting opportunities in smaller markets, but we have a number of others. So really beaten down valuations for solid companies. Eastern Europe has now returned to growth, which is obviously positive, because the crisis did hit many of our countries relatively hard. Now this is gone. All our markets are back in growth territory again, and some of our major markets, Russia, Turkey, are growing at very good pace. Long term, we expect Eastern Europe to continue growing. We don't expect double-digit growth. I think this is a thing of the past, which also should be positive. So the growth should be more sustainable over the long term. And in terms of risks, I think the biggest challenge for Eastern Europe, for most of our countries, is to continue with structural reforms, with privatization, with pension reforms, with creating a more transparent and corruption-free business environment. So these are the biggest challenges for our countries, and we hope they will continue addressing them in a positive way.